Hey there, welcome back to another Credit Card News live stream. I'm Cal Barton. It's good to see everybody here tonight. We got Danny Boy. Thank you for the super chat. Today's going to be a great stream. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Been there from the very beginning. You see me come up, see my rise. It's good to have you, man. I want to say what's up, Ebert Beeman. How you doing? J Ranger Texas says hello from Texas. Rob Flemings, I see you. Team Queen Beast. F Davis. I know I saw someone here from South Carolina as well. Yeah, Rob Flemings, welcome from South Carolina. Listen, Columbia, South Carolina, right here. So, definitely good to have you. Cliff Cothran from Oklahoma. See, I got viewers in Oklahoma. That's exciting right there. Cheryl, welcome back. Walter Harmon, I see everybody. So let's get started here. All right, so first story, we have credit card rates hit a record high as the Fed fights inflation. It's never a great time to carry credit card debt, but right now it's arguably the worst time. The Federal Reserve's war on inflation has driven up the average credit card APR to 19% as of November 9th, according to Bankrate.com. That's the highest rate since Bankrate.com's database began in 1985, beating the prior record of 19% set in July of 1991. The national average APR for credit cards has climbed by 2.74% percentage points so far this year, the biggest increase in a single year on record. So listen, we all know inflation has been a big problem in recent memory, and you don't want to be carrying a lot of credit card debt. No, really, you don't want any credit card debt at all. So you don't want to be paying interest, but it's going to become more and more expensive as we move into next year. And let me tell you something, if you haven't been seeing all the warning signs and all the bells ringing, next year is not looking good for the world from an economic standpoint. So you definitely want to be prepared. Next story, we have banks are going all in on premium travel and credit cards. So it might be an understatement of the year, but travel has changed since the start of the pandemic. Nearly 3 years ago, more than even before, airlines and travel credit card companies alike are laser focused on premium travel. Fancy first and business class seats, expanding and building new lounges, offering more travel perks, and luring customers in with huge credit card bonuses. After 2 years with little travel, airlines are finding Americans far more willing to splurge with their travel savings than they were in 2019. And the banks are capitalizing on it too. Much like airlines, they're leaning into the new premium travel emphasis by putting more money behind their top tier credit cards in the form of new benefits and unprecedented string of eye-popping welcome bonuses of 100,000 points or more. So listen, you see the cards right here, and I think it's very appropriate. Starting with the Capital One Venture X. I recently got that card, and you can tell that's by far Capital One's best offering. I think, you can all probably agree that a lot of their other cards are not really worthwhile. You could probably find the Saver card. A lot of people will like that, but other than that, it's it doesn't look good for the lineup. It doesn't look that good. They do some other things well, like kind of having an entry point for people that are trying to start and build credit with the Quicksilver card. And I think it's a decent way to get in. But with the Venture X, you can see what they're trying to do. They are trying to compete hard for those, for those prime, so 700 and up customers. They want to compete for those dollars because they found through their market research that they're more profitable and they're going to probably be able to hang in longer when things get tough economically. But you can see how Chase was just in the news a few months ago. They're building out their travel infrastructure. They're trying to compete with like the likes of Expedia and Orbitz and all those, and bookings.com. They're trying to compete on that front. So they're actually acquiring smaller companies to build out their travel infrastructure. And so you can see these credit card issuers trying to really, gain market share there. And you can see ever since the pandemic ended, there has been what they call revenge travel. And so just like it says in this article, that people are willing to spend more just because they've been cooped up inside. They've been, they've had a lot of wasted time over the course of a couple of years where they couldn't travel and get out the house, so they're willing to spend more there. I recently got the Venture X card. Definitely think it's one of the better. I think it's the best travel card at the moment, just because they're introducing new benefits. Over the last couple of months, you've seen new benefits come about, and it's just so easy to use that $300 statement credit and $100 yearly annual credit as well. And I think it's just because it has that 2% flat rate earnings rate, it makes it an all-purpose card, so definitely like that. Next, we have pay by bank. Trend is next front in the merchant versus banks payments war. So if you didn't know, there's kind of a war brewing between merchants and credit card issuers and payment networks, because the payment networks and the credit card issuers get together, they form a relationship, right? And they charge what they call interchange fees. And so these fees can be between 1% to 4%, and they charge those fees to the merchants for every purchase. Merchants don't want to pay that. They want to keep that rate as low as possible. And that's going to be tough. So a growing number of small U.S. retailers have been encouraging shoppers to try an alternative to credit cards called Pay by Bank. The payments experts predict that option will take off in a much bigger way in 2023. Pay by Bank is called account-to-account payments, or bank-based payments. It used the automated clearinghouse system to take the money from a consumer's checking account, and merchants can work with specialized payment companies like Catch, Go Cardless, and Trustly to allow consumers to pay for purchases with this method. The trouble for banks and credit card unions is that pay by bank translates into a revenue hit, as it allows merchants to avoid these so-called swipe fees that come from credit card use. So you can see that they want to avoid paying these exorbitant fees. And I see this the most in merchants that are gas stations, especially near me. A lot of gas stations are going to charge less for debit card purchases and cash payments. So they want to incentivize you to not use those credit cards. So I can see them being one of the first to move to these pay by bank options. But that's something to really to keep an eye on moving into 2023. Next, so we have holiday shopping. Consumers lean in on store credit cards to offset financial burden. So an increasing number of consumers are considering applying for store credit cards to try and offset the financial strain on their wallets during the upcoming holiday shopping season. This year, 35% of Americans are likely to apply for such cards, up from 29% a year ago, according to recent data from LendingTree. LendingTree found that 37% of people who signed up for a store credit card in the past have regretted that decision. Okay. They have regretted that decision. About 14% of them say this has happened to them several times. So, I mean, I think store credit cards get a fairly bad rap. Obviously, it's just a quick way for them to make a couple hundred, probably a couple $1,000s per customer. I think store credit cards are okay if you shop at that store a lot. If you're a frequent shopper at the store that you're getting the card from, I think it's okay. I had the Amazon store card. I think that's a no-brainer. But I don't really consider that a standard store card, just because Amazon is so ubiquitous. They have so many different items there. I mean, hundreds of millions of items on Amazon. So you're getting 5% back. So usually with a store card, you're going to get 5% cash back on those cards. And really, it doesn't make sense if you only shop at that store, once every quarter or once every couple of months. It doesn't make sense. Don't sign up for the card. And so I think it's gaining traction this season just because of inflation. Things are going to cost more for people, but also because store cards allow you to get that instant discount. And usually they allow you to spread the purchase out over like 6 to 12 months. And I think that's really key for, that's the key benefit for people, because they really don't have the money to buy all these items up front, Yeah, Nino, what's up, buddy? You said Chase Amazon only, but I don't consider it a store card. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't have the Chase version. I just have the Amazon store card. But I'm over the Chase 524 rule, so I don't qualify. Danny said, yes, no to store cards. Absolutely not. Yeah, F. David said, I will pass on most store credit cards. Oh, listen, I feel you guys. I understand. I think there's just a couple of store cards that make sense for you specifically, and that's what the ones you want to go for. Next story, we have Goldman Sachs is eager to grow cards business, courted by credit card technology firms. So I'm definitely going to be following up with some of this information in a newer video, because I think it's very interesting what Goldman Sachs is doing. So Goldman Sachs has expressed interest in buying a payments technology firm to further build out its credit card capabilities. According to people familiar with the matter, Goldman executives had discussed acquiring Deserve, a fintech credit card platform that the bank already had close ties to. According to people familiar with the matter, executives also sounded out another fintech credit card platform called Cardless and a payment company called CoreCard. I've heard of Cardless, but I've never heard of those other two. So Goldman Sachs, if you don't know, is the credit card issuer for the Apple Card and the GM Rewards card. A lot of people don't know about that card. And both of those are issued by Goldman Sachs. The key benefit of those cards and what Goldman Sachs does is that they will pre-approve you with just a soft credit pull, and during that same pre-approval, they will show you your APR and your starting credit limit, which is a big deal for a lot of you guys. I know a lot, and it's me too, because you like to be able to see what your credit limit will be before you actually commit and possibly incur a hard credit pull. And so luckily, there's actually a way to get the Apple Card without a hard credit pull for a lot of people, where they just freeze their credit report with I forget what agency that you could just freeze all three just to be safe, and then you apply for the card and you accept the offer, and then you wait a few days and unfreeze or thaw out your credit report, and usually you won't incur a hard credit pull at all, which is really nice. But Goldman Sachs is looking to expand their credit card offerings. So what you're really going to see is that you're probably going to see more co-branded cards like the GM Rewards, or maybe even other major companies offer their own credit card that might be a good value for you. And so if next year we see Goldman Sachs with 5 or more card offerings, all those cards should keep with that same benefit of being able to be pre-approved and see that starting credit limit. So that's going to be nice to see. All right, next story, we have banks bet on subprime consumers, and that's sending credit card balances to a record. So U.S. credit card balances surged to a record in the third quarter as banks bet that consumers with less than stellar credit will be able to handle more debt. That's a bad idea. Balances soared 19% to $866 billion, with average credit lines also climbing to an all-time high, according to TransUnion. The jump came after card originations to subprime consumers climbed up more than 12% in the previous 3-month period. Investors are closely watching delinquencies, a harbinger of future losses. The percentage of credit card loans that were 90 days past due jumped to 1.94% in the third quarter, surpassing pre-pandemic levels for the same period, TransUnion said. So this is really going to go in conjunction with the last story with the Goldman Sachs, because they've actually been having a problem with how many people they've pre-approved. A little surprising, but they have actually let so many people in the door with these subprime credit limits, because all you need is a 600 credit score to get approved for the Apple Card, and in some cases you can have below a 600 score when you are able to qualify for their Path to Apple program. So they're letting so many people in and get approved, and now they're having a problem with delinquencies. So that actually came out in a report about a month ago, and they're really gonna have to maybe tighten their belt or watch who they're approving, you know what I mean? So So next story, we have the lines between credit cards and buy now pay later are blurring. Increasingly, the walls between today's buy now pay later credit cards and even debit cards have been eroding as consumers' options for buying things on credit become more complicated than ever. The well-publicized funding and valuation issues on these specialized buy now pay later companies have caused them to think wider and broader beyond simple merchant-based e-commerce pay in for plans. Yet more traditional consumer lenders have also been moving in on the buy now pay later firms' turf with their own takes on BNPL. Increasingly, there is recognition that in spite of the period of pandemic lockdowns, a huge amount of consumer spending still takes place at the physical point of sale. This realization and the quest for more volume and profit has added momentum to buy now pay later firms' use of the virtual cards and their adoption of actual plastic cards that can be used at the register. So you can see in this graphic, there are quite a few large buy now pay later companies. And so they've been coming under more scrutiny this year just because they're easy to get. You really don't have to have credit or good credit to get them. And people don't necessarily understand what the negative consequences can be if you don't pay on time. And so they're pretty much like, it's a form of credit, just like credit cards. But my problem that I have with them is that they barely, if you use the pay in full method, then you're barely getting more time to pay that debt off than just with a standard credit card. A standard grace period for a credit card is like 25 days. You're really going to have about a month to pay that debt back without incurring interest. And with these buy now pay later services, you're really going to have like just a few more days to pay off the same debt. But the problem is that you're not going to get the benefit of having that available credit limit. So they don't report to the agencies in the same way. They're not largely not reported at all. So you don't get the benefit of having more on-time payments and that good payment history affect your report in a positive way. And you don't get any rewards. That's the big kicker. You get zero rewards for all of these buy now pay later services. So that's a problem. Next story, we have PayPal and Apple to accept each other's payment products. So PayPal and Apple have struck a deal to start accepting each other's payments with their separate ecosystems. The pair have agreed to let US merchants accept contactless payments on their iPhones using Apple's new tap to pay technology through the PayPal and Venmo iOS apps. Meanwhile, Apple Pay will be added as an option in PayPal's unbranded checkout flows on merchant platforms. And so I just want to stop right there. I think that when they say checkout flows, that just means that where you see the PayPal button, which is it's really all over the place. When you really go and you look and when you see any online checkout, look for that PayPal button because it's there more than half the time. It's available a lot of places, and that's a really good thing. And from next year, US customers will also be able to add PayPal and Venmo network branded credit card and debit cards to Apple Wallet. So I think the big winner here, even though this is great that they're able to, mesh and work together, this really makes the Apple Card a lot better because one of the downfalls, especially when the Apple Card launched back in 2019, is that they didn't have a ton of supported merchants. They had a good amount, but in order to get that 2% cash back with the Apple Card, you have to use Apple Pay. You can't use a physical Apple Card. So the more we see Apple Pay acceptance just proliferate through all these merchants, the more places that you can earn 2% cash back on your Apple Card. So this is making the Apple Card more and more, like I said, last year and earlier this year, the Apple Card is becoming a 2% flat rate card. For a lot of people, it already is. And you have the added benefit of getting 3% back at Apple, if that's a big deal for you, and 8 other places that you can use that you can earn that 3% bonus rate. That's a great thing. Also, in conjunction with that, Apple Pay is now supported at Ralph's and King Soopers. Now, I've never heard of these two places. If you know about Ralph's and King Soopers, let me know in the comment section. I want to know if it's always interesting because I feel like doing this show that it kind of takes me around the country and some of these different stores that are regional or statewide, I'm starting to get to know, especially in the Midwest. I think I saw that these places are in California. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, we got Ralph's. Oh, Danny said Ralph's is here in California. All right, it's good to know. King Supers. That's is that a play on Shoppers? What is Supers? Just super savings? Or just a play on Supers, just spelled with 2 O's? That's different. Next, we have 13% of credit card holders could lose money for this reason. A lot of people use credit cards to pay for purchases because doing so is more convenient than constantly hitting the ATM and paying in cash. But a big benefit to using credit cards is getting to accumulate rewards. I second and third that. Whether it's airline miles, hotel stays, or good old-fashioned cash back. Listen, I'm cash back, team cash back over here. But some consumers are losing out on credit card rewards by virtue of not reading the fine print or understanding it. In a recent Wells Fargo report, 13% of consumers with reward cards don't understand how the rewards program works. So I think that's a decent percentage, 13%. It is always interesting to me to ask someone, what credit card do you have? And they have to like think about it. They have to take a step back. They have to take a beat and say, what card do I have? And they always kind of like give you they give me the credit card issuer and not the exact card in the lineup that they have. It's so funny to see. I remember a coworker of mine, he knew he had the Chase Southwest card, one of those Southwest cards, but he didn't know which version he had, and he didn't quite know what it earned him. And so it's interesting to see people kind of ding their credit, sign up for these cards, carry them around, but still not know what they do. They don't know. They're not clear on what they do. Everybody's got them in their wallet, but let me know. Do you find that to be the case? I know I asked you guys before. Do you have friends or family that are into credit cards, enthusiasts, or just that you could talk to about this? Most of you said no, but a considerable amount said yes. So let me know if you who it is for you that you can actually discuss credit card news and topics with in your daily life. Who is it for you? And if you haven't already, please like this stream. If you want to see more streams just like this, more videos that I'm producing, please like. And if you haven't yet, so go ahead and subscribe for me. But definitely like this stream if you want to see more like this. I do them every week at 7 p.m. every Sunday. All right, next we have Kudos. If you haven't heard, this is actually very relevant to the credit card community. Kudos raises $7 million to recommend the right credit card for shopping rewards. So this is actually all free. So tapping into your credit rewards isn't easy. You might have to read the fine print for what purchases are eligible or sign up for notifications on which ones qualify when. Kudos wants you to make the most of your wallet and pick the best card every time you are ready to make a purchase. The company developed a free Chrome extension for a digital wallet that holds all of your cards. It supports over 3,000 cards and then calculates the rewards and benefits for each purchase and recommends the right card, which could be a store card, and then helps you to apply for it. So basically, this is a Chrome extension like it says, but you basically store your credit card information within the Chrome extension, and then when it's time for you to check out, no matter what website you're on, it'll just pull that data from your credit card, your personal credit card lineup, and tell you which one you're going to earn the most rewards on. So that's does that sound like a handy tool for you? Is that something that you would use? Just let me know. What do you think about Kudos? Have you heard of Kudos before? I'm a little bit familiar with them, and what do you think about that? Do you think it's good? It's only a Chrome extension that works on the desktop though. So if you're making, purchases on mobile, I don't think it's gonna work there. F. Dave, you said that's kind of risky. Okay. Right, of the line, you said I would only use it if you didn't provide card number, just card type. Okay. I wonder if that's an ability that they that they have. If you can just leave out the card information. I know that they will I heard that they will auto populate the card information field if you're in the checkout. I'm not that'd be cool if they allowed you to omit your information. So next story we have, and this is a big one. Beware, Credit Karma is offering false credit card approval guarantees again. So this is actually my story. This is like, I broke this story. I'm not sure if it's reported anywhere else, but I noticed that Credit Karma, when I was going to Credit Karma to look at some of my, account balances and, my credit utilization rate, I found that they were offering me a few cards, and I saw this badge. This green badge looks like the Twitter or Instagram verified badge. It's supposed to give you a vote of confidence, right, before you apply for these cards. It says Karma guarantee you'll be approved for Credit Karma will pay, or they will pay you $50. So listen, it's good to have I see what they're trying to do here with the guarantee, and they're trying to, play with the semantics and say that this is their own guarantee, and it's separate from the credit card issuer. So they're making that distinction. But the problem is that whenever you introduce the language of guarantee, people are going to take that at face value and say that I'm definitely getting this card, but you're not. You can only be guaranteed to get a card from the credit card issuer themselves that issued the card. $50 is a nice consolation, but if you incur a hard credit pull, is it worth $50? Or maybe it's, if you're going up for a house or something like that, maybe you don't, for whatever reason, maybe a hard credit pull is something that you just can't stand. It's not going to be worth $50. It'd be worth $1,000. And my problem with Credit Karma is that they just got fined just like 2 months ago by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, $3 million. And you guys said it wasn't enough. And I would tend to agree with you. They got fined because they sent emails out to individuals and told them in the email that they were already pre-approved or approved, and they never were. And so people were inclined to go ahead and apply for the card when they thought they were already approved for it. And they got hard credit pulls left and right, and they never got the card. So you got to stop playing with people's credit, and you just can't say guarantee when you're not, when you don't have that information. You can't guarantee the card. Danny, thank you for the super chat. You said, yo, Cal, what's your take on the BlockFi card? By the way, this super chat just gave me 6% back on my Blue Cash Preferred. Hey, 6% back. You can't beat that, right? That's awesome. What category does it fall under for your Blue Cash Preferred? And you said, what do I think about the BlockFi card? We're gonna have to talk about that. Guess what? I'm gonna hit the BlockFi card after I finish these stories. How about that? Because we're almost through the stories. But I do have a take on the BlockFi card. And actually, it's one of the later stories. Is we're gonna delve into FTX and that whole debacle, that whole, that terrible scene that's unfolding there. Yeah, Cheryl said a hard credit pull is definitely worth more than $50. I tend to agree with you. Shanika, thanks for answering my question. You said it falls under streaming. Okay. Thank you for that. All right, so we have next story. TransUnion, if you guys didn't know, I actually learned this earlier today. TransUnion has been breached. Consumers' financial information has been exposed, and we don't know who and how many. So TransUnion said the breach resulted in names, full social security numbers, financial account numbers, and complete driver's license numbers being compromised. TransUnion has sent letters to all affected parties with instructions to help protect themselves from identity theft and fraud. TransUnion is one of the largest consumer credit reporting agencies, collating information from more than 1 billion users globally and 200 million files in the United States alone. So there hasn't been much reporting on this yet. There's still not an official notice on the website. I don't think that's changed as of now. And what do you guys think the penalty will be? I think the precedent has been set for these companies when they get a data breach to have to offer like credit monitoring service for like 1 or 2 years, or like $100 or something like that. It's really not much for each individual consumer. So we're still waiting for more information. Are you surprised by yet another data breach? What do you think that penalty will be? Next, we have update on the Discover It 2023 category. So this is something that a forum member had looked into with customer service. They said a few hours ago, a Discover customer service rep told me that they will now be announcing the 5% cashback categories 1 quarter at a time, similar to the Chase Freedom and Freedom Flex, instead of releasing the calendar for the entire year. So that's definitely not a good move. I mean, that's a move backward, a step backward, definitely. She told me that they plan to announce each quarter's category about a month in advance. So we should learn about Q1 of next year around December 1st. So if I have a Discover It card, it's definitely nice to see what those categories are throughout the whole year, so you can kind of plan for that. But we're gonna get something similar to the Chase cards, it looks like. And next, you guys, I actually just did this today. I want to let you know, I'm gonna make you guys, hopefully most of you, $10. So if you add Venmo to Amazon, to your Amazon account, you're gonna get a $10 credit, and I think you have like a whole month to use that $10 credit. So I'll definitely be using mine. I'll post the link in the chat right now. Hold on, just give me a sec. If I can get in here. All right, there's a link to add the Amazon. If you just be mindful. If you want that $10, just all you have to do is see if you're eligible by clicking on that link and add your Venmo account to Amazon, and that's it. You're gonna get a $10 credit, so that's nice to have. Cheryl, thank you so much. Cheryl, appreciate that. You said not surprised by yet another breach. Yeah, I'm not surprised either. It's like, what, 1 or 2 a year? You can just count on it. There's going to be a data breach affecting like half the country at least, a few times a year. Cheryl, I appreciate it. Thank you. So let's talk about FTX. There's been a huge collapse over the past couple of days, actually, with FTX, which is a cryptocurrency exchange company. And so FTX is headed up by a person known as Sam Bankman-Fried. And this is just a timeline from CoinDesk, which is like a major website that is tracking the performance of. It's basically an index of all of the major cryptocurrencies. And you can see on November 2nd, a CoinDesk headline on Alameda balance sheet. So Alameda is like a sister company to FTX that was headed up by the same founder, which is Sam Bankman. And there was a kind of damning headline that said that I think it said that FTX and Alameda were sharing financials, or they were sharing funds. Then on November 6th, CZ, which is the founder of Binance, another crypto exchange that is a rival, as they say. They're in competition. He tweets that he's selling his tokens that the FTX has minted, these tokens that FTX has. So that people are like, what's going on? Then on November 6th, again, the CEO of Alameda offers to purchase Binance's FTT tokens. Then on November 7th, the Sam Bankman-Fried character tweets, everything is fine. On the 8th, FTX agrees to sell to Binance because things are going terribly at this point. And then on the 8th as well, SBF deletes assets are fine tweet. So now he's backtracking. On the 9th, CoinDesk reports that Binance is leaning against FTX deal. So now they wanted to back out. And now at this point, the FTT token has crashed, has cratered. FTX has shown to be insolvent, and they filed for bankruptcy. So if you had any money in that exchange, that's pretty much gone at this point. You're not able to withdraw your funds. It's been a dazzling last few days. And I know that a lot of YouTubers have been getting some heat. Some of the big ones who promoted this exchange have been getting a lot of heat for that. Do you think that was right? Oh, I just want to say, S. Lee said, got my $10 credit. Thanks, Cal. Listen, I'm happy that somebody qualified for that $10 credit. That's nice. That's really cool. So yeah, I just want to say this, it's been a show. What a show to watch with this, with everybody who was involved in crypto thought that this is the one, this is too big to fail. Sam Bankman-Fried is just a generous billionaire. He's a brilliant person, but just lo and behold, it looks like he just screwed his customers, just like so many other exchanges just went under, and you're losing your money. And I've been on the record for quite some time about crypto. I I think it's a gamble. And this goes for any of the, any cryptocurrency. I think it doesn't have utility yet. And I think even people who invest in it, which I don't think is an investment, will tell you you can't spend it. It's not a currency. We don't have a place where you can exchange it and get some food, and it's just not useful yet. So that's why I don't have any dealings with that. So next we have Wells Fargo now does online product changes. So this is a report. I thought this was interesting because a lot of credit card issuers don't allow you to product change online. It's something that you have to actually call into customer service and go through this whole, lengthy process. So you can do this with Capital One. That's one of the redeeming qualities of Capital One. So it looks like now within the app, you'll have the option to go from some sort of legacy Wells Fargo card to one of the active cash, or preferably you can go to the autograph card, which I really like, which gets you 6 different 3% categories, and there's no foreign transaction fees. So just know if you're with Wells Fargo, you can actually see if you can product change. And last, if you haven't yet, definitely you got to check out my 11 credit limit increase strategies cheat sheet. I have that on my website. I have a link. It's the pinned comment on the stream. You can just go to my website, type in your email address, and I'll send that right over to you. So it just has my top 11 credit limit increase strategies that I found over the past couple of years that really move the needle in increasing your limit with just about any credit card issuer. Just these are 11 things that you can take a look at that you might be able to implement in your situation to help raise your limit up. And so, Danny, you said you want to talk about BlockFi. Yes. I heard, I'm not too aware of what is currently going on with the card. Like, are you still earning? But I know that BlockFi halted withdrawals. So if you sign up for that card, I feel a little bad for you, because it's looking like that's gonna probably be going away. These companies are pulling each other under by the week, it seems. So I never thought it was good I never thought the earnings rate on that card was good, because you were only earning 1.5% back. You could easily, and I said this in prior videos, that you could easily use another card like the SoFi card, which I like a lot, to earn 2% back and just redeem those that cash back into your SoFi brokerage account. And then you could buy whatever you wanted. You could buy Bitcoin or Ethereum. There's tons of the cryptocurrencies they have on their exchange there. So that's a little bit of what I think about BlockFi. Yeah, I never pushed for BlockFi. So let's see what everybody's saying here. DJ Bruce Wayne, what's up? You said, heads up, Chase is offering a $300 bonus just by opening a business account and keeping a $2,000 balance for 60 days and 5 transactions in 30 days. You know, this reminds me of what that gentleman from last week, who had, by the way, he said he didn't see the big, he didn't understand why everybody loved credit unions. Remember that guy? He, if you're here, please comment. We can get that discussion going. But he was saying what he did was he used a lot of his own money to sign up for these different checking accounts throughout the year to earn the checking account bonus. And he said he earned about $8,000 throughout the year doing that. So that's quite a sum of money. F. David, you said, this is why I don't like crypto. It's too unstable. Yeah, that's a great point. F. Davis, because not only can you not use it as a currency, if F. Davis, if you have, a PS5 and I want that PS5, right? I can't give you Bitcoin for it. I mean, most people are not going to accept that. Or some other random Dogecoin. You're not going to accept that. And the fact is, if we arrange a meetup for the PS5 and then an hour later, once we actually meet up, the price swing, the price could have collapsed by 10 or 20% in that 1 hour period. That's a big problem, So you're right about that. Oh, Danny said, I think that dude was a troll, just trolling us to stir things up. Now, here's the thing. I think I did not go there. I didn't think that he was a troll. Maybe he was. He did there was another person in the chat that agreed with him. So they spoke up. And listen, if you're in the chat right now, just go ahead and speak up for yourself. If you think that credit unions are not all, they're not all that they don't offer much benefit to you, that their rewards aren't as good as, the big 4 banks, the big 4 credit card issuers, let me know. Do you think credit unions get too much credit out here? I think when I took the poll, about 15 to 20% said agree with that sentiment. Nino said, going to put that guy in arm lock. Okay. All right. Jay Claiborne, what's up? He said, I've gotten a car loan from a credit union and they gave me a Visa credit card with a $5,000 starting limit. Okay. Now, is $5,000 a good starting limit for you? Is that on par with what you usually get, or is that like double or triple where you at? Was that a good thing for you? Okay, it was your standard. Okay. Yeah, we definitely got to get that. So, either me or somebody needs to debate that guy on the credit union point. I personally don't have. I started out with a credit union back in South Carolina, but I currently don't have any credit union cards. But I do see the appeal. I understand, better customer service, better interest rates. They're relationship banking. So if you have a problem, it's better customers, you're going to be able to take care of it. Maybe if you need some sort of, personal loan, or you're trying to do work on your house or something more complex, they're going to be able to service you better. I think that's the appeal for credit unions. Right of the line said, I agree with him on making cash off of opening bank accounts, but I still like credit unions. Cheryl said, I have my car loan 1.9% APR with my local credit union and a $10,000 credit card. Nice. That 1.9%, that's nice. I don't know what the national average is, but I would assume it's fair, a fair bit higher than that. That's great. Danny said he has 6 or 7 credit union credit cards. 6 to 7. Wow. All right, speaking of credit cards, guys, has anybody gotten approved for a credit card, or have you gotten a credit limit increase over the past week? Let me know so I can celebrate those wins. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Yeah, Nino said, that's why I love your channel. Different of opinion and rebuttals are welcome. Yeah, listen, I wish there was more. I definitely like to have a difference of opinion. Definitely helps you. Maybe you can see things that you, from a different perspective that you didn't really consider before. I think we have a tendency to go with the crowd a lot, and maybe the credit unions or whatever we're discussing, it could have started to falter or become less of a value, and so you have to have the discussion with everybody. Jay Claiborne said, I'm waiting on my next Capital One statement to come out so I can request an increase on my cards. Yeah, definitely want to, like in my last video, every 31 days, I pretty much will request for an increase just to see what I get. And it's never hurt to try. Plumber, you said $1,500 credit limit increase on your city double cash. All right, so you know what time it is. Plumber, you know what time it is. I got to get the money gun out. Do I have it charged up? All right, plumber's for you. $1,500 on that city double cash. Now, plumber, have you considered product changing that double cash card into a custom cash? Because that's what I did. I have 2 custom cash cards. I love that setup because I'm basically earning $25 per card every single month. It's so easy to earn that. You're getting 5% in basically any category that you want. It's really nice to have. F. Davis, thank you, sir. Another great stream. Did not know about TransUnion breach. Yeah, listen. I'm glad I was able to inform you. I appreciate that. The super chat, F. Davis. Very, very. Just it's so good to have your support. All right, so we have J Ranger. You said, yes, I did. I got approved for a Capital One Saver card. Nice. What was your limit on that card? Let me know so I can shoot this money gun off for you. All right, oh, here we go. Yes, I did. I got approved for the Capital One Saver card. Jewel Clark said, should I change from the Capital One Walmart to another Capital One product? You know, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the Walmart card on the product change site. I'm not sure if they will allow you to product change from a co-branded card. I would have to double check that, but I have not seen that on the landing page. Oh, Plumber said I have a custom cash. Okay, well, Plumber, just so you know, you can have multiple custom cash cards if you know. But if you don't have another I have several flat rate 2% cards, so it was just kind of a no-brainer for me, just because I could fall back to the PayPal MasterCard or the SoFi credit card, and I think I have another one, honestly, that earned 2% back. Yeah, Gemstar75, what's up? You said, excuse me, do you know if the Amazon Visa signature has the 524 rule? Yeah, I'm almost certain that does fall under 524 status. So yeah, if you want the Amazon Visa, you're gonna have to be under 524. All right, J Ranger said he had a $500 increase. Nice, dude. J Ranger, here you go. 500. That's 500. You get a little. I pulled it for like a fraction of a second, but that's 500 bucks. This is what J Ranger got right here. Boom. $500. Fred 2023, you said, I want to bring up my credit limit for my Quicksilver so I can product change to the Venture X. Yeah, listen, the Venture X is really, from what I've seen, is tough to get. That's why I did not just apply for it outright. I went the product change route. Who knows if that was the best decision, but I wanted to be certain that I get the card. And then the plus is that you don't incur the 3-part credit pull. So whenever you apply for a card with Capital One, it will pull from all 3 credit bureaus. And in case you're concerned about that, I've personally found, and you saw in my last video, that when you product change, it's just another lever. It's just another indicator, I think, that will show up in their algorithm that puts you kind of front of the line for an increase. Because I don't really have another explanation for being able to increase my limit twice in 60 days, other than I used a product change tactic. EHJ, man, thank you for coming through with the super chat. He said, happy early holidays. Hope all of you and the families are doing well. Been working a lot and spending time with the grandson. Nice. Missed out on the past streams. Caught up over time. Keep up the great workout. Thank you, EHJ, man. I'm going to keep working, keep at it, and try to make things better day by day. Thank you, sir. Fresa 767. I don't think I've seen you comment, so thank you for commenting this time. Another great stream. Asking for an increase on my City Double Cash card tomorrow. Keep those fingers crossed. Well, Fresa, I hope that you get it. I hope you get it on your City Double Cash. Remember to ask for what you want. So doesn't matter the amount. Just go go high, because it will just counter offer you. So yeah, I just want to say I think my next video is going to be on Goldman Sachs. As I said earlier, Goldman Sachs has 2 credit cards, the Apple card currently and the GM Rewards card. And Danny, you can chime in here. They have the GM Rewards card also falls under the same rule where you're able to get pre-approved and see your starting credit limit. So I'm going to highlight that feature of Goldman Sachs cards, and it's going to look like a bright future for them if they continue with new credit card offerings and still having that feature. And so next year should be a big year for them, and I'm going to highlight that in the next video. So guys, thank you for hanging out with me on this stream tonight. I stream every Sunday at 7 p.m. So I want to see you back next week. Shanika, what's up? It's good to see you. I didn't see you earlier in the chat. Yeshe said, what credit card companies do 3 hard pulls except Capital One? I haven't seen another credit card issuer do that other than Cap One, so that'd be news to me. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna see you back next week. Everybody have a great week, all right?